everybody, welcome to California Bountiful. I'm your host, Tracy Sellers, and today I am enjoying a nice freshly brewed cup of coffee here at one of my favorite restaurants in Sacramento, Hot Italian. And you know, it doesn't get much fresher than getting to pick your own coffee beans, which is something I got to do recently without ever having to leave the state of California. And that's due to one farmer who is brewing up a whole new business in the Golden State. For our faithful viewers out there, you might remember Jay Ruskey. We featured him a few years ago as a farmer introducing a new fruit to folks, the cherimoya. We coined it the best tasting fruit you've probably never heard of. Well, today Jay is still introducing us to new exotic fruits on his Santa Barbara County ranch. But none of them is more exotic or rarer here in California than the crop whose seed most of us can't live without in the morning, myself included. That's right, believe it or not, Jay is attempting to grow coffee at his California farm.
How many coffee growers in North America is the question I get weekly, and I still double check, but I think we're the only people that grow coffee. 15, 20 years ago, there was a Folgers marketplace. Their coffee was $3 or $4 a pound, and you would never think of growing in this area because of the economics. But now with the specialty coffee market and people enjoying a cup of coffee like they do a fine bottle of wine, we actually have a chance to make coffee a viable crop here.
On his 42-acre farm named Goodland Organics, Jay has created a subtropical wonderland of exotic crops, bringing Central America to the Central Coast. A veteran of the farmers markets, Jay is proudly the first farmer to sell locally grown coffee in California. Working in conjunction with the University of California Cooperative Extension on a feasibility study to see if coffee can in fact be grown by farmers en masse here in California, Jay has about 700 trees planted on his ranch, which is located just 2 miles away from the ocean and is mostly frost-free with mild temperatures. Or in other words, the perfect place to try and grow a subtropical crop like coffee in California. Jay's coffee experiment goes from seedlings to servings here in his greenhouse, where he has several varieties going at any one time. The best ones he then plants on his ranch, where he closely monitors them. Patience is the key here, as it can take up to a year from the fruit to go from flower to harvest, and another 8 to 10 years to see if the coffee plants will produce a consistent crop. But getting to see all stages of coffee production is the real sweet treat around here.
Here we have ripe berries ready for harvest today, with some almost mature and green berries for 2 more harvests. And at the end of the branch, we're coming into some flower buds and new growth. So here you're witnessing almost all 4 stages of the coffee plant. And that is nowhere else in the world where you can experience that and see that. One of the most important aspects in ensuring that you have a good cup of coffee coming from your beans is making sure the cherries are perfectly red and ripe. So a cherry like that is fully red is ready for harvest, because it ensures that the sugars are completely developed.
The cherries, or the seeds of the berries really, are harvested by hand, soaked in water for about 24 hours, during which fermentation removes the thin layer of flesh around the beans. Then they are spread out on racks to dry anywhere from 10 days to 3 weeks. And then a thin layer called parchment is ground off the seed or bean, which is then roasted. All of which I got an up-close look at, and of course, taste too. So this is the best part, right? Getting to taste the coffee.
Yeah, this kind of concludes our experience of the life cycle of the coffee here.
Let's taste.
Would you like a little cup?
Oh, you don't have to ask me twice.
All right, there we go.
How many cups of coffee do you have a day?
Oh, I have probably 3. I have 2 in the morning, and then I have my siesta coffee after lunch to get me through the rest of the day.
So it's like constantly flowing through you. Gotta taste it, right?
Well, first you smell it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask. Yeah, yes. What's the proper etiquette for?
Well, I'm more of a farmer, but I'm beginning to learn the proper etiquette for drinking the coffee there. But absolutely want to smell it.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then take a light sip. Oh. And make sure that it goes around your palate so you can get all the different flavors. That
tastes like coffee.
California coffee.
California coffee. This is pretty cool, Jay.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
But I'm not the only one that gets a farm-fresh cup of homegrown coffee. Jay has begun hosting tours on his ranch to get the word out about his new crop. The 3-hour adventure involves a cup of coffee, of course, hiking, fruit picking, fruit tasting, fun, and a whole lot of education about what it takes to grow coffee in California.
What I want to get out of today's tour is to improve your relationship with your cup of coffee.
Dude, look at this. It's a whole branch full of them.
See, we harvested 10.3 pounds, all of us together, of cherries. That will probably turn out to be about a pound of coffee.
The fact that the coffee bean is like a berry, it looks like a little choke cherry, doesn't it?
Sure. Or cranberry.
Or a cranberry. It is a berry. And yet when you take it and taste it, it tastes like coffee. And I mean, it's how it starts.
And as if one new crop wasn't enough for Jay, he's trying to grow another one, caviar limes. They're long green citrus fruits with a core cluster of crunchy tart beads that look kind of like caviar, but definitely don't taste like it.
Woo! That one's tangy.
And just like his other fruits, Jay is taking it directly to the people by literally going door to door to local restaurants and bars to see if they might find a place on their menus for the small fruit with big flavor.
Our chefs are important sounding boards for any new product, specifically caviar lime. And it's fun to introduce the caviar lime to the chef and open it up and their eyes get big and you can just see their brain working. And they have 3 or 4 dishes by the time you're talking to them.
As soon as I knew what they were, I was like, these are perfect for oysters. And since I serve oysters here, it was only natural to bring them on board. All right, Jay, here you go. Enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Jay hopes to not only continue to grow unusual and exotic crops for folks to enjoy, but to grow experiences for people to enjoy as well. By reconnecting them to their food, he hopes to build a community by making local food and local agriculture exciting again, while also perking up our interest in a new California crop.
I think it's a great opportunity for anyone to come up here and really get the full experience and respect the bean. You know, it's not just about going to Starbucks and getting that cup of coffee. It's about really enjoying it and like wine and enjoying that full flavor of it.
People leave our farm with a whole new relationship with their cup of coffee, and that's wonderful. I'm happy to be a part of that.
And if you'd like more information about Jay's California grown coffee, well, you can get all the details at our website, californiabountiful.com. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little hungry. So coming up, we've got some healthy snacks that are fresh from the market. Stay tuned.
Closed captioning of California Bountiful is provided by Agriculture Liquid Fertilizers. Producing better crops with better fertilizers, it's better for California.
Next.
In the nation, we know how it feels when you aren't treated like a priority.
Expected wait time, 55 minutes. Your call is...
Waiter!
We do things differently. We put members first.
We'll take care of it.
Join the nation.
Thank you.
Nationwide is on your side.
To learn more about the nation where Farm Bureau members can protect what's most important, call 877 on your side or visit www.nationwide.com today.
My name is Patrick Mulvaney, and my wife Bobbin and I own Mulvaney's Building and Loan. It's a restaurant, banquet hall, and a catering facility here in Sacramento, California. Focus on local, seasonal food, so our menu changes every day, and it all depends on what the farmer brings in the front door. Every day brings a new excitement here because of the farmers that are around here. Everybody brings it in here to our restaurant so that we can put it on a fork, and our guests get to enjoy it.
back at the market learning what to eat for great nutrition. And here's our good buddy, Timmerie Hagenberger. She's going to tell us what to eat for good nutrition. And one of those things is apples. Apples are really healthy for us, is that right?
They are. They're absolutely healthy. Very important for blood glucose control, so blood sugar control.
Little. These guys are so little, but they're, and does it matter what kind or what variety of apple we eat?
No. Usually we look for color. So
Okay.
phytonutrients, color means phytonutrients. So apples are actually really unique because they're not super high in fiber. They do give us some fiber, but there's something that's going on with the other phytonutrients in apples that combine with the fiber and will give us the benefits that we'd see in a really high fiber fruit.
Oh, is that right?
They are. They're fantastic. So with weight control, with, as I had mentioned, blood sugar, blood pressure, they're just great. So we do need to eat them every single day.
So an apple a day really is true.
Yes, yes.
All those years Mom told me, she's right, she's right.
She's right.
Now how do we pick out a good apple?
So we want firm, smooth skin, and ideally if you can find one with the stem attached, that's great. And you don't want them to smell musty, then they're gonna be too overripe. So you just want them fresh with just barely a hint of scent.
Perfect, okay. So we're gonna get cooking with some apples, with some great recipes. What do you see what we have in store for you?
So we are going to use half an apple in this sauce, and I call this a vanilla sweet dip. Okay, so it's kind of caramely, it's kind of vanilla-y, sweet.
Okay, you got me. I'm sold.
All right.
I'm sold.
So just put half an apple in, and then we're gonna add dates. Now I try to use whole foods as much as humanly possible. So instead of using sugar, we're gonna add dates. Dates are packed with antioxidants. In fact, they are the healthiest sweet choice that you can make.
Really?
They're whole foods.
So a great substitute for sugar.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah. So we want this to be a sweet dip. So we have about a cup of dates, or about 10.
Okay.
Those are Medjool, California Medjool dates. And then we're gonna use half a cup of water. So I'm gonna use the soaking liquid, at least as much as I had, and then we'll see how close I get to half a cup. Oh, quite perfect. So let's put that water, just the soaking liquid in. Now we're gonna add a quarter of a cup of cashews, and I've just soaked them, okay? There are enzyme inhibitors in nuts, and if you soak them, then you can release those.
Oh, I had no idea. I was gonna ask, why do we soak them? Okay.
So people sometimes have a sensitivity to nuts and seeds. If you soak them,
you're fine.
You're fine. Huh. Okay. So
That's
there's the
every time I come here.
Yes, that's the point. And then we have a little vanilla. Okay, so we like vanilla. Now this is where you can start with half a teaspoon. I like a whole teaspoon.
I was gonna say, so do I.
Okay, so we'll put the whole teaspoon in there. And then we can do a little, optional, a little dash of salt, okay? And that's it. So let's put that lid on and stir this baby. So this would be good with any kind of dipper. So you could do apples, pears, you could do graham crackers.
I was gonna say, yeah, you could do
absolutely.
pretzels. I mean, the
so
sweet,
you
salty.
can see how thick that it is. I mean, this is truly a dip, okay? Or, you know what we did the other day? We did this instead of jelly on peanut butter. So we did peanut butter toast, and then we put this on top. Okay, so are you gonna be willing to taste?
I know, it's so difficult. Somebody's
Take
gotta do it.
an apple.
Look at that though. Oh, look at that.
It looks beautiful.
Nice and creamy. Oh my gosh. To me, it tastes like cookie dough. I guess the vanilla maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I just the sweet and the
so rich.
creaminess. And that's all whole food.
Oh my.
Yes,
I'm
this
not
is
gonna double dip, that's so déclassé, but I'll just take another apple.
okay. You can do that.
And I have to say, that caramel dip was seriously addicting. So if you'd like the details on how to make that recipe, we've linked it all to our website at californiabountiful.com. And stay with us because there's a lot more California Bountiful coming up. Keep sipping my coffee.
My name is Patrick Mulvaney, and my wife Bobbin and I own Mulvaney's Building and Loan. It's a restaurant, banquet hall, and a catering facility here in Sacramento, California. Focus on local, seasonal food. So our menu changes every day, and it all depends on what the farmer brings in the front door. Every day brings a new excitement here because of the farmers that are around here. Everybody brings it in here to our restaurant so that we can put it on a fork, and our guests get to enjoy it.
Hi, my name is John Ledbetter. I work at Boca Nova restaurant in Jack London Square, Oakland, California. I love cooking with simple ingredients, seasonal ingredients. I like using the right things at the right times, and I like to do 10 ingredients or less, preferably always. What we do in this business is we highlight food, and you can't highlight food unless you're using the best of what you can get. And if you can't do that, you should either try to do it or you should go do something else.
My name is Lisa Armstrong, and I'm the founder of Local Roots Food and Farm Tours in Sacramento. I really asked myself what I wanted to do with my culinary background of 15 years, and I grew up in the farming communities and wanted to tie the two together. So I really started these culinary adventures in the mind of my passion for food and my passion for agriculture. Put those two together and try to make the connection between the restaurants, the farms, and the local community of trying to discover new things and things that have been here for a long time that people want to connect to and learn about menus in Sacramento.
We've never been in the neighborhoods.
It made me realize how very little I'm actually in Sacramento.
Well, it's very exciting that Sacramento is the farm-to-fork capital of America, and what bounty we have just outside our back doors fits right into our mission statement at Local Roots Food and Farm Tours, just because we have found so many wonderful venues just in downtown Sacramento, let alone exploring other avenues of the fresh farm local ingredients.
Support the agriculture in the region. You know, we have a rich history of agriculture here in California, so it's gratifying to be able to highlight some of those people who maybe have been a little unsung.
So our tour today consisted of 6 different stops in Sutter's District in East Sacramento, and the highlight starts with Cafe Bernardo in Midtown. And we meet up with Chef Shannon Berg, and she creates this wonderful brunch dish for us, all fresh farm local ingredients. Then we head over to the private Perigary Bakery, and the smells are just amazing. We meet with Chef Laurel there, and she goes through the whole process of them starting at midnight all the way up till noon of what they do for their 11 restaurants, which is kind of intriguing and inspiring.
You know, it's my whole life, so I like to tell people about it because I'm that vain. But also because what we do is really, really cool and really unique, not just here in Sacramento, but in general for bakeries and for wholesale bakeries.
What you experience is not only the food, but the connections between the chefs and the environment of what these restaurants are. We head over to a Mexican restaurant. It's called Centro's Mexicana, and it has got wonderful local Yucatan Peninsula flavors of wonderful chilies, and we try to sample some carnitas. We move on and we start getting a little bit into the sweetness of Sacramento, and we visit a La Bombe ice cream shop, and they have a signature dish there that we share with everybody. We venture over to Formoli's Bistro, and it's kind of a little hidden gem in East Sacramento. It's again a farm-to-fork restaurant, and it's on New American food, and we love the flair there. And then we end with a nice little walk over to Coffee Works, which is one of the oldest roasting rooms in Sacramento, all organic beans, which is kind of a unique feature here in Sacramento. And we devour some of their baked goods as well as iced coffees. We do a lot of research with our company. I send out some guides as well as myself, and we patron a lot of restaurants. We read about what's hot and what's not in Sacramento, and then we go and see for ourselves. We do a lot of taste testing. We make sure that the ingredients are there, that they're fresh, that they're using farms within a 65 to 80 mile radius of Sacramento.
I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. I thought the variety was really cool, and I've been on food tours before, and sometimes the portions are so generous that by the end you're really not enjoying yourself, and so I thought this one did a great job in terms of keeping the portions small and being able to eat comfortably throughout the whole time. It was great.
I like Bernardo's. I'd never been in a restaurant that caters solely to the community, fresh, organic, healthy, that was so catered to today's health issues.
Seeing the passion in these chefs and excited about beets and radishes and rutabagas in the winter, and then your beautiful tomatoes and peas and carrots and all of that. I mean, it just keeps on going and going, and that just kind of puts fire under our belly to keep going and exploring more and sharing the agriculture in this area with all the chefs.
It's not the type of information you would get on your typical city tour, and so she's done a really good job about picking out interesting tidbits to, you know, kill that time in between eating. Yeah, it's great. It's put together really well that way.
Okay, this coffee is really starting to kick in. It's pretty good. Well, if you'd like more California Bountiful, we've got it for you at our various social media platforms. Behind the scenes photos, fun recipes, we've got something for everybody. So check it out when you get a second. And stay tuned because there's more California Bountiful coming up.
Next.
In the nation, we know how it feels when you aren't treated like a priority.
Expected wait time, 55 minutes. Your call is...
Waiter!
We do things differently. We put members first.
We'll take care of it.
Join the nation.
Thank you. Nationwide is on your side.
To learn more about the nation where Farm Bureau members can protect what's most important, call 877 on your side or visit www.nationwide.com today.
This is Chris from La Condesa Restaurant. We're gonna make a shrimp cocktail. So we wanna start with nice fresh tomatoes. And when you're doing this at your house, it's totally easy to make. You just cut stuff, whack it up. It's totally simple. Here I'm gonna put it in my blender. If you have a blender, you're gonna need a blender. I like Valentina brand hot sauce. I know it's crazy to use a brand product, but I think it's kind of fun because of that. I'm gonna put in a little bit of hot sauce, which I like. I got some lime juice, fresh lime juice. I've squeezed ahead of time. You gotta have it fresh. And then I like to include some Jarritos grapefruit soda. Take the top off of that. If you have a bottle opener, it's probably good. There we go. All right. Put the jarritos in there. You got lime juice, tomatoes, and a little bit of the Valentina hot sauce. Why the soda? It's sweet, really nice effervescence to it. And turn it on, turn it up, let it go. Gotta let it go for some time. Then you want to run it through your strainer. If you have a strainer at home, a really fine strainer. The solid ingredients are going to sit inside your strainer. The water is going to go through the bottom. Give it some time to drain out. And once it drains out and gets a little bit less active, you're going to end up with a water. It's a flavored water. For the cocktail and the ingredients that are in it, I've got shrimp that we've poached. Don't use raw shrimp, use poached shrimp. Some whole shrimp, some chopped up shrimp. And just you don't have to be crazy about it. Just chop it up. They don't have to be perfect little dice. Get that in the bowl right there. I'm going to put a lot of cilantro. Cilantro is very big, of course, in Mexican cooking. Don't go crazy about, the way. Just go ahead and chop it up. It's okay. It doesn't have to be super perfect. We got cucumber, also very big in Mexican food. Use the whole thing. I'm going to put that in there. Everybody loves cucumbers. I'm going to put more salt. We're going to add avocado to your cocktail. Cut it in half, whack the seed out of there. You're good to go. Take a spoon, scoop it out. Boom, nice and easy. Make sure you got all the skin off of that. Turn your avocado like that. Nice and easy. You don't have to be real hardcore about it. Doesn't have to be super uptight and exact. Then you've got this awesome, wonderful cocktail water. It's going to be crazy, crazy good. Mix it around. Once again, let's make sure we've got a lot of salt in there. Start spooning it in your glass because it's going to be incredible. Fill that thing all the way over the top. More shrimp. All right, it's going to be nuts. Take the rest of the liquid, pour that in there. Whammo. That's going to be totally good, totally easy to make. You can make that at your party. You can have your friends make that at your party for you. You don't even have to make it. Or you can come on down to La Condesa in St. Helena and we'll make it for you here.
Well, that is going to do it for this show today. If you'd like information about the stories you've seen or the recipes, you can find it all out at our website, CaliforniaBountiful.com. And we'll see you again next week on California Bountiful. Have a good week, everybody. Keep drinking my coffee. Pinky up.